All right. Welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time we're jumping into the world of self-defense.
Yeah.
And
Looking at some different martial arts.
I mean, who doesn't like to think about,
yeah.
what's to protect themselves?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got, we're going to be looking at two very different approaches today. Aikido and Krav Maga.
Oh, yeah. Two very different
Very, very different
ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to help us out, we've got
yes.
Wikipedia articles on both of those.
Two great martial arts.
And then also a really interesting blog post about fitness for self-defense.
Right.
Right.
Because, you can
know all the right moves.
have the best technique in the world, but if
you got to be able to you got to be able to execute them.
Use it.
Exactly. So by the end of this, hopefully you will have
at least
you'll have some knowledge about the different styles for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how fitness plays a key role.
Right. Yeah.
In actually being able to defend yourself.
It's all connected. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's start with Aikido.
Okay.
Which is often called the way of harmony, right?
Yes. The way of harmony.
It's known for its fluid movements and, its emphasis on...
It's beautiful to watch. Yeah.
Blending with the attacker's energy rather than just meeting force with force.
No, it's about redirecting that force.
Exactly. And that philosophy is really, I think, reflected in the name itself, right?
Yes, it is.
Aikido.
So Aikido comes from three Japanese characters.
Okay.
All right. Kie. For energy or spirit.
Okay.
And then do for path or way.
So it's literally the way of unifying with life energy.
Yes. It's beautiful.
That sounds pretty...
It is.
Spiritual.
In a way, it is.
Yeah.
So the founder of Aikido, Morihei Ueshiba, really wanted it to be about more than just fighting.
Okay.
He saw it as a path to self-improvement.
Yeah.
Both physically and mentally. Which is, I think, really the core of what martial arts should be about, right?
Yeah. Like, how does philosophy, though, how does it actually translate into,
good question.
Techniques on the mat in the...
So in Aikido, you learn to use your attacker's momentum.
Yeah.
Against them.
Okay.
So instead of blocking a punch directly, like you might see in some other martial arts, you might redirect it.
Okay.
And use their force to kind of throw them off balance.
So it's about control rather than brute strength.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
And Aikido training often involves practicing specific techniques. Often with prearranged movements called kata.
Okay.
And so there's two roles usually. Okay. Yuke, which is the receiver of the technique.
Got it.
And tori. Who's the one performing the technique.
Okay, so you're always switching back and forth.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you learn both sides of it.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
I understand. There's also a big emphasis on learning to fall safely.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
How important is that?
That's called yukimi.
Okay.
And it's crucial for both you and your training partner.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because
you don't want to get injured while you're training.
Right. You don't want to hurt yourself and you don't want to hurt your partner.
Yeah. So it's kind of like...
So think of it like a gymnast.
Yeah.
Learning to roll safely.
Right.
After a dismount or something like that. It's all about minimizing the impact and protecting yourself from injury.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard some of the Aikido technique names, and they sound, I don't know, they're pretty interesting.
They are.
Like Ikkyo, Shihanage, Kokyunage. They almost sound like spells from a fantasy novel or something.
They do have a certain mystique, definitely.
Yeah.
But each name actually describes the specific movement and its intended effect.
Okay. So they're not just, random words.
They're very descriptive.
Can you give us an example? Like,
sure.
what's one of those, and what does it mean?
Okay. So take Shihanage. It's known as the four-direction throw.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm trying to picture that in my head. Like, what is that?
So it's not just about, like, throwing someone with brute force, right?
Right. Okay.
It's a very precise technique where you're manipulating your attacker's arm in a way that forces their hand back past their shoulder.
Okay.
And so It's almost like
Oh, so it's putting pressure on the joint.
putting pressure on the joint.
Got it.
Making it very difficult for them to resist.
So you're using their own body mechanics against them.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of strategy involved in Aikido.
Absolutely.
It's not just a lot of strategy.
Fixing serves of strength.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things
That's
that makes
right.
it so appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because, you don't have to be the biggest, strongest person to be effective in Aikido.
It's about the cat.
It's a martial art that requires both physical and mental discipline.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about Aikido's focus on harmony and redirecting energy.
Mm-hmm.
But Krav Maga, our next martial art, seems to have
Very different.
a very different approach.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it does.
Like, how so?
Yeah.
So Krav Maga was developed for the Israeli Defense Forces.
Oh.
So it's got a very background.
Yeah, military, very
Yeah, so it's all about
mhm.
practicality and effectiveness.
Yeah.
In
Real world combat situation.
their world, yes.
So less about philosophy and more about
Survival.
survival.
Yeah. Krav Maga is designed to neutralize a threat as quickly
Okay.
and efficiently as possible.
So it's taking
So it actually
bits and pieces.
incorporates techniques from various martial arts.
Okay.
Like
Yep.
what kind of martial arts?
You'll see
Ju-
boxing, wrestling, judo,
Oh.
taking what works best from each.
Yeah. So it's like the ultimate
Yeah.
mixed martial art in a way.
Yeah.
So I guess the next question is like, what are some of the key principles
Yeah.
that set Krav Maga apart from
Yes.
something like Aikido?
So one big thing
Yeah.
is that it emphasizes
Yeah.
simultaneous defense and attack.
So you're not just blocking or deflecting. You're also counterattacking
At the same time.
at the same time
Got it.
to disable the threat as quickly as possible.
That sounds very
Yeah.
proactive.
Yeah. Very aggressive.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And unlike Aikido, which generally avoids striking vulnerable areas,
Okay.
Krav Maga specifically
Oh.
targets those areas.
Okay, so like what kind of areas are we talking about?
So, we're talking about the eyes,
The eyes
throat, brain.
to really incapacitate
Yes, very
the
quickly,
attacker as
quickly as possible.
quickly as possible. So there's no holding back in Krav Maga.
Not when your safety is on the line.
Oh, okay.
You know,
It's about
another key principle is using anything at your disposal as a weapon.
Oh, okay.
So it could be a nearby object,
Right.
like,
If there's I don't know,
the keys,
a book or something.
the keys,
Yeah.
your bag, even your own body weight.
Yeah.
It's
Objects of
it's all
size.
about improvising
Yeah.
and using your environment to your advantage.
So it's very
Yeah.
practical and
Yeah. Very massive.
emphasizes that
Real world focus.
real world focus. It's
Right.
not just about techniques. It's about
Mindset.
mindset and those
Survival instincts.
Yeah, those instincts.
Mhm.
Yeah, wow.
So Krav Maga also emphasizes
Mm-hmm.
mental toughness and awareness.
Okay.
So you'll be put through,
Like how would you
they'll put you through stressful training scenarios
got it
to kind of help you
so you can
develop the
react.
fortitude to stay calm under pressure.
Okay.
So
you don't
assess the threat,
freeze up.
react decisively.
Okay.
It's about being prepared for anything,
Yeah,
you know?
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Aikido, focus on harmony, redirecting energy.
Right.
Then you've got Krav Maga
On the other side,
on the other side.
aggression
Yeah.
and swift neutralization of a threat.
Yeah, two very
You're right.
different approaches to self-defense.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how these
Yeah.
different philosophies can shape these martial arts,
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And both are valuable in their own ways.
in their own ways.
But I think regardless of which style you might be drawn to,
Right.
there's one element that's absolutely crucial
Yeah.
for success in any.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah.
And our blog
say
post
drink it.
author really
Yeah.
brings this home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they talk about how their own weight
Okay.
actually hindered their ability
Mhm.
to defend themselves
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that fitness isn't just about
Yeah. Like looking good. It's about
right. It's about
being able to
being-
be physically and mentally capable
Yeah.
of protecting yourself.
It's about functionality, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So think about.
So it's not about
Yeah. Think about what you might need to do
right.
in a self-defense situation.
Yeah.
Right. You might need to run away.
Right.
You might need to break free from a grab.
Yeah.
You might need to deliver a powerful strike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maintain your balance while being pushed or pulled.
Right. So many things.
So many things.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stamina.
Flexibility. Instability.
Coordination.
Coordination.
It's all of these things. All of that.
Come into play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's break down, like, I mean, I guess.
Stamina allows you to keep going if the confrontation lasts longer than a few seconds.
Right.
Strength helps you break free from holds.
Yeah.
Or deliver, those powerful strikes.
Like in Krav Maga.
Like we talked about with Krav Maga, exactly.
Yeah.
Flexibility lets you move quickly.
Right.
Evade attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And, good coordination is essential for executing those techniques effectively.
Yeah.
Whether it's an Aikido throw or a Krav Maga counterattack.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our blog post author actually gives some advice on how to build a fitness routine that supports all those things.
Yeah.
What are some of their
well, they really stress key recommendations.
The importance of a balanced approach.
Okay.
Incorporating cardio, strength training, and flexibility exercises.
So it's not about becoming like a marathon runner.
Right.
Or a power lifter.
They don't have to specialize. But it's about
building a well-rounded foundation.
Yeah.
That supports your overall physical functionality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they suggest starting
what would be some good examples of cardio exercises? So anything that gets your heart rate up and improves your endurance will work.
Okay.
So, the classics are there: running, swimming, cycling, dancing, even brisk walking can be effective.
Okay.
If done consistently.
So it's about getting your heart rate up?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not about necessarily
not much is it?
The intensity.
Yeah.
It's about doing it consistently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much should someone aim for each week?
The general recommendation is at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity.
Okay.
Or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity cardio per week.
So a couple times a week.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what about strength training?
Strength training.
Are there specific exercises that are particularly beneficial for?
So it's a good idea
defense
to focus on compound exercises that work multiple muscle groups.
So what are some
at the same time
examples of those?
So things like squats.
Okay.
Lunges, push-ups, pull-ups.
Classic.
Rows are all good examples.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking these exercises would help build the kind of functional strength that you would need to execute those Aikido throws or the Krav Maga strikes.
Yeah, they build strength throughout your entire body.
Yeah.
Not just isolated muscles. So this translates to more powerful strikes, better grappling control, even increased resilience against falls or impacts.
So it's all connected.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about flexibility.
Okay.
What kind of exercises are best for improving that?
So yoga and Pilates are both excellent options.
Okay. And are those
they not only improve flexibility, but they also enhance balance and core strength,
which are also really important.
Super important for self-defense.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I imagine regular stretching can also help prevent injuries, especially
like your warm-ups and cool-downs.
Right.
Okay,
that makes sense.
And it's important to
don't push yourself too hard.
Listen to your body,
Yeah. Especially when you're starting out.
Don't push yourself beyond your limits.
Right.
Especially when you're first starting out.
So consistency is key.
Yes.
It's about making fitness a regular
habit.
Part of your routine.
Yeah.
Not just a
lifestyle.
One-time thing.
Yeah.
And our blog post author makes a really good point about finding activities you actually
This is so important.
Enjoy.
If you hate running, don't force yourself to run, find something that you like.
Yeah.
Whether it's dancing or swimming or hiking.
Or rock climbing.
Or anything.
Yeah. The key is to
make it sustainable.
Yeah, I love that. Because if you dread
your
workouts,
you're not going to do it.
You're not going to do them.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance between challenging yourself, and enjoying the process.
Exactly.
Right.
And that sense of enjoyment can actually be a really powerful motivator.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It helps you stay committed to your fitness journey.
A win-win.
Which in turn supports your overall health and your self-defense preparedness.
You get fitter.
Yeah.
You feel more comfortable.
And you're better equipped to handle yourself in a dangerous situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, in addition to...
in addition to those, general fitness recommendations.
Yeah.
Our blog post author also delves into
interesting
psychological aspects of fitness.
Yeah.
Particularly for women.
Okay, what do they have to say about that?
So they talk about how learning self-defense and becoming physically stronger can be incredibly empowering for women.
Yeah.
They can boost their confidence, help them feel more secure, and give them a sense of agency in a world where they're often made to feel vulnerable.
Being physically capable of defending yourself, but it's about the
mental shift. That comes with knowing you have the power to protect yourself.
It's about reclaiming that sense of safety and control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And fitness plays a crucial role in that transformation, by developing physical strength and stamina.
Breaking down those societal barriers that often make women feel like they need to be.
It's about taking ownership.
Protected by someone else.
Of your own safety and well-being.
Yeah. It's about taking ownership of your own safety.
And that message of empowerment through self-defense and fitness.
And I feel like that
can be applied to anyone.
Could be applied to anyone, right?
Regardless of gender.
It's about realizing
that you have that power.
That you have the power to protect yourself, and that taking care of your physical and mental health is a vital part of that.
I love that. Such a great message.
It's about taking control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And empowering yourself to face whatever challenges life throws your way.
And that includes exploring.
And that includes the fascinating world of martial art.
Yeah.
So we talked about the philosophical and practical differences between Aikido and Krav Maga.
Right.
But I think it would be really interesting to delve a little bit.
I think so too.
Deeper into what each style offers in terms of
the techniques and the
training methods.
The training methods,
yeah.
Like, how are those techniques actually executed? Where should we start?
Let's revisit Aikido and take a closer look at some of those intriguing techniques you mentioned earlier.
Perfect, yeah. Those names have been swirling around in my head. I'm ready to see what they're all about.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay,
so we talked about like the philosophies and techniques behind Aikido and Krav Maga. But now let's get into the crucial role
this is
fitness plays.
So important. I mean,
in effective self-autonomy.
It's almost like common sense, right?
Yeah. Like, it seems pretty obvious, but what aspects of fitness are we really talking about?
Right. So it's not just about, being, like a gym rat.
Right.
Or anything like that.
Yeah, look.
And our blog post author actually talks about this.
Okay.
They talk about how their own weight really affected their ability to defend themselves.
Okay.
Right. And they kind of had this realization that, fitness for self-defense isn't about looking a certain way. It's about having the physical capabilities to react quickly and decisively in a dangerous situation.
So we're talking about functional fitness, not just aesthetics.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So think about
what are some
what you might need to do
at those
in a self-defense situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You might need to
run away.
Get out of there. Break free from a grab.
Yeah.
Deliver a powerful strike.
Mm-hmm. Maintain your balance.
Yeah. While
someone's trying to
being pushed or pulled, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things.
Stamina, strength, flexibility.
Yeah.
Coordination, like all those things. Come into play.
And are.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Each one of those is essential.
Yeah.
Stamina allows you to keep going.
Yeah.
If the confrontation lasts longer. than a few seconds, right?
Yeah, you don't want to...
You don't want to gas out.
Yeah, gas out after for a second.
Strength helps you break free from holds.
Yeah.
Deliver those powerful strikes. Right. Flexibility lets you move quickly.
Yeah.
Evade attacks. And good coordination is essential.
It's all about timing, right?
Timing, yeah.
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 So our blog post author actually...
The blog post author gives some specific advice.
Yeah, give some advice on how to build a fitness routine.
Yeah, build a fitness routine.
That supports all this.
Yeah.
What are some of their...
Well, they really stress the importance of a balanced approach.
Okay. So what does that mean?
So incorporating...
What cardio exercises are we talking about?
Strength training and flexibility exercises.
So it's not about becoming a marathon runner.
No, have to become...
A powerlifter, right.
It's about building that well-rounded...
Building a well-rounded foundation.
Yep. That supports overall physical functionality.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So what are... what would be some good examples of...
So anything that gets your heart rate up.
Okay.
And improves your endurance.
Okay.
Will work.
So look...
running, swimming, cycling, dancing.
Dancing?
Yeah.
Even brisk walking.
Oh, okay.
Can be effective.
Got it.
If done consistently.
So it's not so much about...
Yeah, it's not necessarily about the intensity.
It's about...
As much as it is about doing it regularly.
Yeah. So how much should someone aim for?
So the general recommendation...
Each week.
Is at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity.
Okay.
Or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity.
All right.
Cardio per week.
So a couple times a week?
Yeah, a couple times a week.
Get your heart rate up.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Oh.
Now, what about
strength training?
Strength training.
So
are there specific exercises that are particularly beneficial
to focus on
or self-development?
Compound exercises that work multiple muscle groups at the same time.
What are?
So things like
some examples:
squats, lunges,
yeah,
push-ups,
pull-ups, rows. Those are the classics.
Those are the classics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking these exercises would help build the kind of functional strength you would need.
Build strength throughout your entire body.
Yeah.
Not just not isolated muscles.
Isolated muscles.
So this translates to more powerful strikes.
Yeah.
Better grappling control.
Mm-hmm.
Even increased resilience against falls or impacts.
So it's all connected.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about flexibility.
Flexibility, yes.
What kind of exercises are...
So, yoga.
Best for improving that.
And Pilates.
Yoga and Pilates.
Are both excellent options.
Okay.
And not only...
Are those good because...
Improve flexibility.
Yeah.
But they also enhance balance and core strength.
Yeah, okay.
Which are also...
They're both super important for self-defense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I imagine regular stretching can also help prevent injuries, especially as you start pushing yourself harder.
Skip your warm-ups and cool-downs.
Right.
Listen to your body.
And it's important to listen to your body.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Don't push yourself beyond your limits.
Especially when you're
first starting out.
Right?
Okay.
So consistency is key.
Yeah, it's about making it a habit.
Making fitness a regular part of your routine.
A lifestyle.
Not just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And our blog post author makes, I think, a really good point about
it's so important.
Finding activities that you enjoy.
If you hate running, don't run.
Right.
Yeah,
find something you
like.
Yeah.
Whether it's dancing.
Yeah.
Swimming.
Rock climbing.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
The point is, find something that
the key is to
you enjoy and that you can stick with.
Make it sustainable.
Yeah.
I love that because if you dread your workouts, you're not going to do them.
You're not going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about finding that.
Yeah, it's about
finding that balance between, challenging yourself.
But also enjoying the
process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that sense of enjoyment can actually be
a really powerful motivator.
Yeah.
It helps you stay committed.
It's a win-win.
To your fitness journey.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, supports your overall health.
You get fitter.
And your self-defense preparedness.
You feel more confident.
Yeah, you feel more confident. You're better equipped.
And you're better equipped
to handle yourself in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, in addition to those kind
of general
barrel fitness recommendations.
Fitness recommendations, yeah.
Our blog post author.
It
also delves into.
So it kind of delves into.
This is interesting.
The psychological aspects of fitness.
Okay.
Particularly for women.
Oh, interesting. What do they have to say about that?
So they talk about how, learning self-defense and becoming physically stronger can be incredibly empowering for women.
Yeah, I feel like...
It can boost their confidence, help them feel more secure, give them a sense of agency.
Yeah. So it's not just about...
In a world where they're often made to feel vulnerable.
Being physically capable of defending yourself.
Yeah.
But it's about...
It's about that mental shift
that
comes with knowing you have the power.
Have the power to
protect yourself.
Yeah. It's about reclaiming that sense of safety, control.
Yeah.
And fitness
plays
a crucial role in that transformation.
It's about breaking down those societal barriers.
Yeah, exactly.
That often make women feel like they...
It's about taking ownership.
Need to be protected by someone else.
Of your own safety and well-being.
Yeah. It's about taking ownership of your own safety and well-being.
And that message of empowerment.
Yeah. And
through self-defense and fitness.
That could be. Can be applied
to anyone.
To anyone.
Right.
Regardless of gender.
Yeah. It's about
realizing that you have the power
to protect yourself.
Taking care of your
physical and mental health.
Yeah.
Is a vital part of that.
I love that. It's such a great message.
It's about taking control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And empowering yourself to face whatever challenges life throws at you.
And that includes exploring quite a fascinating world of martial arts, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about...
Right, so we've talked about...
the
philosophical and practical differences.
Right, between Aikido and Krav Maga.
Right.
But let's delve a bit deeper into...
Let's delve a bit deeper.
What each style...
And of specifics.
...offers in terms of...
The technique.
And the training method.
And training methods, yeah. Like, how are those techniques actually executed?
Yeah.
Where should we start?
Let's revisit Aikido.
Okay.
And take a closer look at some of those intriguing techniques.
Perfect.
You mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Those names like Ikkyo, Shihonage, Kokyunage.
Yeah.
They've been swirling around in my head.
They're great names.
I'm ready to see what they're all about.
Yeah, let's break them down.
All right. Okay, so let's unlock the secrets of these Aikido techniques.
Right.
Let's start with Ikkyo.
Okay.
Which I believe translates to...
First technique.
So it sounds like it's...
Yeah, very fundamental.
It's a pretty fundamental move.
It is.
Yeah.
It's all about gaining control of your attacker's arm and using leverage to take them down. And it's often used as a response to it, like a wrist grab.
Okay, so I'm picturing someone grabbing my wrist.
Right.
Aggressively.
So imagine that aggressive wrist grab. In Ikkyo, you would use one of your hands to control their elbow, while the other hand applies pressure near your own wrist.
Okay.
And you're basically turning their energy back on them.
So it's not about brute strength.
No, it's
about using their momentum,
leverage and technique
against them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're applying pressure at certain points?
Yeah, you're applying pressure to specific points.
Yeah.
That creates discomfort or even pain.
Got it.
Making it much easier.
So it's like a combination of joint manipulation and like...
It is. It's a combination of joint manipulation.
Strategic positioning.
And strategic positioning.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds incredibly effective.
It can be. Yeah.
Okay, so...
It can be very effective.
Let's move on to Shihonage, which is the forward-direction throw, right?
Yes. Shihonage is a classic Aikido technique.
Yeah, that one really caught my attention earlier.
Yeah.
And you're essentially...
So you're manipulating the attacker's arm in a way that forces their hand back past their shoulder.
Yes.
Essentially locking the joint.
Locking the joint.
Yeah.
Ouch. I can imagine that would...
It's not a comfortable position to be in.
Yeah. That would put a stop to any...
And again, it's not just about the physical force of the throw.
Right.
It's about that strategic targeting of a vulnerable point.
Yeah.
That locked shoulder creates intense pressure.
Got it.
Making it really difficult for them to resist.
So it's amazing how Aikido uses the attacker's own body against them.
Exactly.
Now, what about Kokyunage.
Kokyunage, yes.
It's the breath throw, right?
The breath throw.
And it sounds...
It does sound...
almost mystical.
Mystical. It does, doesn't it?
Is there actual...
but there's...
magic involved in this?
There's no actual magic involved.
Okay.
But it does...
I was say.
Take... yeah. It takes a lot of finesse to pull off.
Okay. So how does that one work?
So, unlike Ikkyo and Shihanage, which really involve...
Joint locks.
Joint locks, yeah.
Yeah.
Kokyunage is more about blending with your attacker's movement.
Okay.
And redirecting their energy.
So you're almost like...
In a way.
Guiding,
yeah.
Their movement rather than forcing it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
It requires a high level of sensitivity and timing.
Yeah, I can.
Which is why it's often considered a more advanced technique.
Okay.
It's not something that you learn right away.
It takes
a lot of practice.
This takes a lot of practice.
And it really highlights that connection between the physical and the mental training that we were talking about earlier.
Totally. So Aikido, very
nuanced.
Very nuanced.
Yeah.
It seems like a lifetime of learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You could spend...
Let's switch gears back to...
your whole life studying it.
Krav Maga.
Yeah, okay.
We've talked about its real-world focus.
Right.
And its blend of techniques, but what's it actually like to train in...
What's a Krav Maga?
Krav Maga.
Class like, right.
Yeah.
So how's
it different from Aikido?
So unlike... the more traditional, almost spiritual atmosphere of an Aikido dojo, a Krav Maga class is likely to be much more high energy and intense.
Okay.
You're training for real life scenarios. So
right. So it's less about...
The focus is on developing those practical self-defense skills quickly and effectively.
Okay. So it's more about simulating...
It's more about simulating real world attacks and defenses.
Attacks and defenses.
Yeah.
Okay. So you might be
practicing defenses against punches, kicks,
lunges,
grabs,
kicks,
even weapons,
chokes,
like knives and guns.
Wow, that sounds
intense.
It can be pretty intense, but also incredibly
also
empowering.
Also incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Krav Maga really emphasizes some key principles.
Like what would those be?
That set it apart,
Yeah.
So one of the most important is that simultaneous defense and attack.
Okay.
So you're not just blocking or deflecting.
Right.
You are immediately...
You're counterattacking. At the same time.
To neutralize that threat.
Got it, yeah.
As quickly as possible.
Oh, so it's a very proactive, assertive approach.
Yeah, very, very proactive.
Yeah.
Very assertive.
Okay.
And Krav Maga teaches you to target vulnerable points.
Like we talked about earlier.
On the attacker's body. Like we were talking about earlier.
The eyes, throat, groin.
The eyes, throat, groin.
Yeah.
The goal...
It makes sense.
To disable them.
Yeah.
And create an opportunity for you.
Right. In a real life situation.
To escape.
You don't want to waste time.
Right.
With techniques.
You're not playing around.
It
might not be that effective.
This is about survival.
Yeah. Totally.
Another key principle is using anything at your disposal as a weapon.
Right.
So a nearby object.
Like if there's
your keys.
Yeah.
A book. Your bag.
The bag, yeah.
Even your own body weight.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about...
So Krav Maga is really about being...
improvisation.
Resourceful.
Yeah.
And using your environment.
Being adaptable in addition to being physically skilled.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And finally, like we've touched on before, Krav Maga really emphasizes mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how...
So they'll put you through stressful training scenarios.
Right.
To help you develop that mental fortitude.
So you can react under pressure.
To stay calm.
Yeah.
Assess the threat.
Yeah.
React decisively.
It's huge.
Even under pressure,
Yeah. So Krav Maga is as much about...
being prepared.
Mindset.
Yeah.
As it is about...
for anything.
Physical technique.
It's about having that mental and emotional strength.
It's about...
to face a dangerous situation head on.
Having the mental and emotional strength to face that situation.
Yeah.
Head on.
A great way to put it.
Yeah. So it's fascinating how both Aikido...
holistic approach to self-defense.
Yeah. And Krav Maga.
That prepares you to handle both the physical and psychological challenges of a real-world attack.
being so different can both be so effective.
Right.
It really speaks to
the diversity.
Yeah, the diversity of
human experience.
Human experience and how we can find different paths to achieve
even the same goal, which is
same goal.
Protecting ourselves.
We're protecting ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember that.
I agree.
Exploring martial arts.
And I think it's also important to remember that, exploring martial arts is not just about learning to fight.
Right.
It can be a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
Personal growth. Empowerment.
Empowerment, yeah.
And a big part of that is development. And a big part of that journey is developing the physical and mental fitness.
The physical and mental fitness.
To support those self-defense goals.
Yeah. Our blog post author really highlighted that.
Our blog post author really highlighted that connection between fitness and self-confidence.
Connection between fitness and self-confidence, yeah.
Especially for women.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's about realizing that you have the power to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And that taking care
for taking control
of your physical and mental well-being
of your own
is a crucial part of that.
Safety and well-being.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, this has been an incredibly insightful,
really interesting deep dive.
We've explored the fascinating world.
Explored so much.
Of the flowing movement.
From the flowing movements.
Of Aikido. The raw power of Krav Maga.
Raw power of Krav Maga. And we've learned how fitness plays a vital role.
Yeah, and fitness is key.
In any self-defense journey.
To it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just in terms of physical capability, but...
It's not just about... the physical.
Yeah, the mental.
It's also about that.
The emotional.
Mental and emotional strength and confidence.
Confidence, that empowerment.
Yeah, yeah. It's all connected.
So to our listener out there.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
It is.
There's a whole world of martial arts and fitness resources.
There's so much out there.
Waiting to be discovered.
To explore.
So take that first step. Embrace the challenge.
Yeah.
And start building your self-defense toolkit.
Yeah. Find what works for you.
Both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what you're capable of.
Yeah. There's no one size fits all.
That's great advice. And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into this empowering world.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure exploring these topics with you.
Martial arts.
And I hope our listener feels inspired
to
continue this exploration on their own.
Keep learning. Keep practicing.
Keep learning.
And keep empowering yourself.
Keep practicing.
Until next time.
And keep empowering yourself.
Stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe.
Yes. Stay safe.